So,
Oh wow,
yeah.
Incredible.
The new foreign noir Blumhouse Halloween.
Oh.
Why is my mic? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
All right, dropping the mic. So, what an experience. I've been carrying this character around for 29 years. And finally, I was shooting something in South Africa. I get this phone call. I didn't recognize the South African prefix. All of a sudden, it was Jordan Peele on the line, telling me how impressed he was with the original film and how it inspired him to be a filmmaker, and asked me would I be on board with their dedication of love to not only the film world, but the horror world and the black man in film world. And I'm honored to be a part of it. You saw the ending. So you know
There's another one.
that if people like you support it, there's going to be many more.
This is something incredible. A lot of people thought this might have been a reboot, and then realizing the incredible roots it has, even just to the I and to the
See this
original.
t-shirt?
Yes.
It's a one of a kind.
I love it.
Handmade for me by Monkey Paw. I dare you.
So I want to take a few questions. We can bring the house lights up all the way. I want to welcome.
And cheers to the Plaza for 82 years of restoration. To film lovers everywhere, we thank you. We thank you. Keep film alive, folks.
So let's hear questions, comments. Yeah, right over here.
Streaming is cool, but live film and theater is where it's at.
Yeah.
So this is going to be really vague, but I was wondering if Candyman could say my name.
What's your name?
Latrice.
No one is ever going to be able to say your name and be anywhere close to that. Your name is ruined now. That's it. That's the highlight of your life. Yeah.
Very nice. This one's a little weird too, but since you've been playing this part for so long, have you ever took the time to say Candyman 5 times? Yourself?
Never. I got 2 kids, a boy and a man and a woman, and they've never said any of that. As a matter of fact, they didn't wait to see the film until they were 25. I didn't allow it in my house. Because I wanted to be a father first and not some sort of iconic horror figure. You know?
Yeah.
It's hard enough being a dad.
Over here. Yes, sir.
Speaking of being such an iconic horror figure, how does it feel to carry the character for 30 years?
You know what? It wasn't just me carrying it. It was fans all over the planet, all over America, all over the world, at horror cons everywhere. They continued to love for him, and people, Universal was paying attention, and then now here we are. So some people say, well, how do you feel about not being the central figure? I say hats off to the entire cast. I know most of them, Coleman in particular, and they did an extraordinary job. The art department in Chicago did a wonderful job. The whole film was shot entirely on location. And the incredible shadow puppet stuff, which sort of like made it so mysterious. And most of all, Miss Nia DaCosta. And I'm telling you people, she is going places. She's currently in London filming The Marvels, and lovely person. And she brought, you know, no offense to the male directors, but my favorite people to direct and to talk to that write for me are women, because they bring a certain sensitivity to the film world that goes hand in hand with the film process. The time it takes, the generosity of spirit, the caring, all of that. It feels like, you know, a grandmother's love.
A question all the way from Scotland.
Awesome.
When you first set out to do filming and whatnot, be on camera, did you intend to be like such a big, like, I don't know, have such an influence on horror and yourself? But if not, what films did you actually intend to?
Well, you know, I got my master's in theater. I went to Trinity Art Conservatory in Providence, Rhode Island. Nobody said, oh, let's pick a genre. As a matter of fact, my first love is theater. That's what I do. Been on Broadway twice. I just did a one-man show this summer at the Pennsylvania Shakespeare Festival. August Wilson's How I Learned What I Learned. So I always go back to that. But as it was, Bernard Rose, who was a genius in Liverpool, gentleman that had the genius to transpose the forbidden Clive Barker's source material to Chicago. He and I are dear friends. Matter of fact, he's got a film debuting August 10th in LA called Traveling Light, which we filmed at the beginning of the pandemic. Remember that name, you are going to know about it. It's not a horror film, so those of you that only like horror, maybe not. But it's going to get the attention of a lot of people. And, you know, when they first told me about Candyman, my agent at the time called me up and said, we got a script for you, it's called Candyman. I hung up because I said, I'm not short. There's no way I can play Sammy Davis Jr. They brought me in, except on my knees. You can take the sunshine. Anyway, so I had personality meetings at the studio and stuff, and Bernard fought for me. Originally, this is a true fact, originally the studios that be, the powers that be, wanted Eddie Murphy to play the role.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
That's only what they wanted.
He was a big star at the time.
He was a big star at the time, you know, but he wanted to make it more comedic, and Bernard said, I'm not trying to make a comedy, and he fought for me, and that's why we're friends to this day.
Well, so I'm really interested because, you know, you mentioned your stage, you know, you brought a really Shakespearean presence, a really haunting Shakespearean presence in the original. I mean, so how much, you talked about the transformation of Clive Barker's and, you know, setting it in Chicago, and so how much of that interpretation and evolution was something where you were able to kind of tap your roots and...
I was able to write the backstory for the character, the fact that he had been lynched, why he was lynched, that whole love story that was eloquently portrayed in the movie, falling in love with the woman I'm painting, all of that. I needed to create that in order to bring life. They didn't want it just to be a monster, you know?
Sure.
And we wanted it to be more like Phantom of the Opera than
Right.
someone chasing someone through the woods.
Right.
I'm interested in that. So hopefully it paid off, but I know I've traveled the world with this guy. And everywhere I go, people are amazed by the process, the character, of course, Clive Barker, Bernard Rose, and the entire Virginia Madsen, the entire rest of the team. And now we got a new chapter.
I mean, that's got to be an incredible sense of. I didn't realize. I mean, most actors, when they create a backstory, that just stays with them. It might be, but it's such an integral part of the.
I brought it, I wrote it, I showed it to them, and they loved it. And I said, that's it, because they didn't know what we were talking about.
What about there, and then I'll get you next.
This is so great to be standing here, by the way, after working and shooting in Atlanta. We're here this weekend for Days of the Dead over at the Sheridan, and that was a great day. And now we're here doing a Q&A, and then I get to eat some food, which is great.
Back there, yeah.
Question is, how does it feel to not only be a part of such a successful movie, but a movie that like sheds a light on a movement, basically, towards arts things like that? How does that
You know what? Listen, I'm part of that movement. I mean, I am a representative of the movement. When I first started film 30 years ago, I would look on a set and I would have to look in the mirror to see another person that looked like me. That was between the cast and the crew. Nowadays, when I shoot in Atlanta, forget about it. The entire transportation team is a mixed bag, the entire catering team, and we're actually on set, hanging lights and pulling cables, a thing that anybody with any brains should be able to do.
Right.
So it's been a full evolution. And as someone, at one point, it used to be an unspoken rule that only one black person could be in a film, okay? Literally. And so I'm glad I'm alive and well enough to see a new generation being introduced to film, and maybe some kids and students that don't know what they're gonna do with themselves yet can have inspiration to know that they can be part of a process that's not only is the movement, but it's gonna continue the movement as it keeps growing. Yeah. She was the last person to sign off me. First I had to attend a 7:30 in the morning executive meeting, and I'm saying, well, they're gonna ask me questions, and I just walked in and they were drinking fresh squeezed orange juice and butter in their bagel, and I left. And then finally I had lunch with Virginia, and then she signed off of me, and then we spent 3 weeks doing all of the elegant arts, horseback riding, ballroom dancing, fencing, eating elegant food, and we formed that magic. And then Bernard had the genius, he was a hypnotist, and he would hypnotize Virginia before every scene that we would do, so she would have that. And then of course, Tony Richmond was DPing, you know, just translucent, and that was the connection. To this day, we still talk, which is fantastic.
Yeah,
Hi.
A bit of a method question. I've always heard that in the original film, you actually had bees in your mouth.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay, here's the difference between the original and this one. When they did a damn good job, but everything in there is digitized, all right? I had to work with a bee wrangler, his name was Norman Gary, and I remember like 2 days before we shot, they had their own trailer, okay? This is Tony, it's time to meet your friends. I said, what is it, Norman? And they opened up the door and says, I want you to surround yourself. This is Willie, and that's George, and that's Sidney. I said, well, if the motherfucker bites me, I'm gonna call him out his name. And me and Willie got along, but some of the others were wayward. So that chest cavity, that was filled with bees. Every bee you see in the first 3 films, all real bees. I would say, believe it, the mouth wasn't so much a problem because I had a dental dam. It was just like tickly feeling. But the chest cavity was the one because I had to open up the coat and they're like, oh. And then they go where they want to go. And then when the director calls cut, the crew is like hiding. It takes about a half hour to get the bees. And it wasn't any modern technology, it was an old redback. And I said, are we done? Did we get everyone? Now I go to the bathroom and I find out they left 1 or 2.
We'll go over here and then back to you. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you a question. The question I have is, it's been reported that you actually negotiated a higher rate for every bee sting, and I was just curious if that was actually.
Wouldn't you?
Is that?
Or would you say I give myself to art? No. I had a great lawyer at the time, and we got a great. It was $1,000 a sting, I believe.
Oh my God.
I should have said 100.
A little self-indulgent this time, I'm taking a page out of Latrice's book.
Okay, it's all
I know
your
it's
fault.
not actually Candyman, but could I get you to point at me and say I'll see you soon?
Okay, we're mixing up genres, but all right. You ready? I'll see you soon.
Yeah.
Now, we both lived across the street from Cabrini Green in Chicago.
Okay.
And I love Candyman. She'll tell you, I'm a huge fan of Candyman. With the movie and everything that you've done, what is your favorite acting role? Would it be Candyman?
No, it wouldn't be.
Okay.
I apologize for that, but it wouldn't be. I mean, I'm glad and appreciate it. People love it. It's tough to pick. I mean, my first film was Platoon.
Yeah, I saw you in
And
Platoon.
extraordinary cast, extraordinary, powerful conditions that we shot under.
You did Night of the Living Dead.
And Night of the Living Dead was
Right.
my first horror film, so that's an important. I gotta say, I did a Western once with Christopher Reeve. And I played the first black federal marshal in America. His name was Britt Johnson. Look him up. They don't put him in the history books. And we were up in Calgary riding horses, stagecoaches for like 6 months. And then we were going to make a TV series out of it, and we had a break, and Christopher unfortunately had his accident.
Yeah.
But the woman who raised me, my aunt in Power, she'd never been on a plane in her life. I flew her out there because we used to grow up, I grew up watching movies with her. And they set up a special seating area. She had never flown before in her life. I flew her first class. She gets out, she was mad at me. And for 2 weeks, she watched her baby boy, yes, that was the son adopted, do his thing. And the smile that was on her face, I will never forget.
So that's,
Yeah, so that's the most memorable thing. I shot a film in Paris called The Secret. Again, it's not a horror, but it was very important to me. I spent 6 months in Paris
Oh, nice.
making love the whole time. No, on camera.
we have time for just a few more questions. We're gonna get over here and then you next. So yeah, go ahead.
This is quite exciting, guys. Thank you for sticking around. Thank you for supporting the film, for art, for community, for social issues, for justice, etc. And all you screenwriters out here, go home and start writing what you know. Don't try to write what you see is popular. Write your own story. Everybody's got a couple stories.
So I was a little too young to see Candyman when it first came out. My parents were more responsible than I am, obviously.
Okay.
But I wanted to ask, I know you as Commander Kern, and it's Jake Sisko. I'd
Right.
love to hear a little bit about how you got attached to Star Trek.
All right. I auditioned for Kern, and I auditioned like 4 times, and they finally gave me that, and what a role. I mean, you know, sports brother, and I'm a Klingon, and I love Klingons. They're just honest. And in terms of Deep Space Nine, the visitor, again, my aunt, she had passed away, and I was inconsolable. And all of a sudden, the script came out of just the abyss of joy. And I just wanted to sort of honor her by the way he moved. You know, growing old is no fun, but just, you know. So that was the thing that I think that's why it's special, and I think that's why a lot of fans call it their favorite episode.
It's a wonderful episode.
Thank you very much. Thank you for asking that.
So, first off, I applaud the ability to have like a slow, calculating kind of horrific character that you created. Have you ever had any experiences, like just you as yourself, meeting people out in the world and like just them reacting in strange ways?
Yeah, every time I get pulled over in LA, show them my ID, they take a look, I take another look, and I say, so what's up? And then they let me go. Yeah, I get it all the time, but mostly it all comes with love and joy, and I appreciate that. So, but at the same time, people give me my space because that's important too.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, but I realize how privileged I and every other actor is to be a part of a business that pays the bills and provides a future for your kids and surprises for your community.
We got time for just 2 more. You.
Have you ever had any supernatural experiences, ghost apparition, anything?
I grew up in a lower middle class environment in Hartford, Connecticut, and it was surrounded by a graveyard. But we didn't see it as a graveyard. We took it as a place where we went to play touch football, climb trees, shoot at squirrels. On Friday nights, we'd like go into the graveyard and we like, the drunks used to come down this one street. We used to like mess with them, you know. Buy some vodka and run home. But one day, something changed. It was a car. We thought it was a pimp, right? Gets out the car, but the closer he got, we saw that he didn't have no shoes on. And everybody started running, trying to get out there. You know how kids do, scrambling. I fell down, and they left me. And I said, well, and I blanked out. Next thing I knew, I woke up in my bed. So, take that for what it is.
And last question in the back.
I was wondering if you were ever approached by Todd about night raid.
No, I didn't meet Clyde Barker at that time. I was actually in New York doing theater, so, but I know Clyde. I met him. He was on the set of Candyman, and pray for Clyde, give him strength. He's not feeling well right now. He's an absolute genius for what he's done.
Well, and certainly your genius has transcended decades
And
now.
again, props to the modern cast. They did an extraordinary job. I am supremely flattered.
So I want to thank you all again for coming. We're going to take Mr. Todd for the meet and greet. So all our VIP guests, if you'll head out and go to the left. For everyone else, if you could, you're welcome to use the restroom, but exit to your right. Thank you all so much for coming.
Thank you.
And one more round of applause for Mr. Todd.